Yo, welcome back to the shit you scared to say. I'm your host, Dula-Mite. You see it on the screen. Before we get started, it's like every show. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, run up them hypes, get me in the algorithm. Now, today's guest is a special guest for me, man. It's one of my favorite rappers when I was growing up. I like the unsung heroes. I like the underdogs. So it's actually a pleasure for me to read this intro that I wrote for this brother. So my next guest is an unsung hip-hop legend. He became known in 1997 with his single, The Theme is Party Time, which was on the Billboard Top 100 for 37 weeks and became an overnight hit. His debut album, Many Faces, was released shortly after peaking at number 23 on the Billboard's top hip-hop/R&B albums, and it reached number 2 on the U.S. Heat Seekers chart. He's collaborated with artists and producers such as Busta Rhymes, Kanye West, D-Dot, aka the Mad Rapper, and the Notorious B.I.G., rest in peace. After having issues with his label, this brother changed directions and went to law school, earning a Juris Doctor from Southern University Law Center in 2006. He became hip-hop's first former major label artist to become an attorney. Then in 2007, he began specializing in contracts and entertainment law. Some of his clients include Grammy-nominated R&B singer Eric Roberson, renowned tour, DJ and engineer for Jay-Z, Young Guru, and also Invisible Productions, who works with Kelly Rowland, Solange Knowles, and the late great Kobe Bryant, rest in peace as well. It's my pleasure, dog, to introduce one of my favorite rappers, Tracy Lee. What up, man?
Salute, man. That's a hell of an introduction, man. I really appreciate that, man. I'm glad to be here, man.
Trey Lee, man. So I do appreciate you. This is my first virtual interview, so I'm actually excited about that too. So the fact that you took your time, man, I really appreciate that. I do want to get to it though. You was born in Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Okay, first off, let me say this about Buffalo, right? Why do people say that's Toronto? They call y'all like New York niggas be like, man, they Canadians.
I mean, New York City and the metropolitan area is very arrogant when it comes to New York. It's New York and everybody else. But in all fairness, Philly's the same way. It's Philly. We not a part of Pennsylvania. It's Philly and then it's PA. You know what I'm saying? But Buffalo is just such close proximity to Canada and all that. So, But, to be quite honest, you know what I'm saying? Buffalo has been holding the New York sound down for the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, Griselda been holding it down. Yeah,
exactly. So you can't front on Buffalo. Man.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Griselda been holding it down for New York. But you was raised in Philadelphia. So first off, what part of Philly are you from? And then what influenced you to start rapping? Like what artists and like what was the moment that was like, yeah, I love hip hop?
Oh man, so actually that moment came before I moved to Philly. That was in like 1979 with a lot of us kids. That's Generation Xers when we first heard Rappers Delight, the hip, the hop, the hibbit to the hibbie. Okay. It's like, what is this language? What are they talking? This sounds like I belong here. You know what I'm saying? I found my tribe. You dig what I mean? So, but Philly, I moved to Philly in 1981, 82, somewhere around in there. And was raised in Southwest Philadelphia as well as North Philly, because I went to a boarding school in Philly called Girard College. Okay. And, it was a boarding school that was, before the Civil Rights Movement, it was for male orphan white kids. And then with the Civil Rights Movement, Cecil B. Moore, Martin Luther King, things of that nature, they had to integrate, and then now Girard is about 98% black. But it's for kids that come from single parent households. It started off as all male. Then in 1984, females were allowed in. But very gifted children that just needed a chance. You know what I'm saying? Very intellectually gifted. Has the ability to pass whatever test you want to give us. We just needed the opportunity, and Girard supplied that. So shout out to Girard College and all my brothers and sisters that go there. But Southwest Philadelphia in general, when we talk about the the Philadelphia sound, you gotta start off with pop art. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start off with the Goodman family. You know what I'm saying? Who created a lane for even, you know, the beginning stages of a lot of the New York rappers, like Roxanne Shante, you know, before Cold Chillin', you know what I'm saying? They would come down to Philly and get their first opportunity to sign with a record label when a lot of these majors were signing rap artists, you know what I'm saying?
I think Philadelphia, not to cut you off, I think Philadelphia, even if you take it further, Philadelphia is one of the reasons why even the DVD era was so big, because people like Reed Dollaz, Meek, we can name a bunch of them just with the way they was doing it. Like, people was discovering, like, shit, they had mixtapes just with the DVDs that they was doing, just with, like, so many people went viral before viral was a word.
Something like a stove, something like an oven, something like a broke intercom. You're not busted. Think Reed was off his shit? Well, I was. Your group like one big pussy, and I'm fucking deep high ride the beat. Something like double dutch. War with us, warriors, criminals, scripted 40s up. Make a phone call, grip his little story up. Kill him with a note on his back. Let's say short. I keep the top in the trunk, 44 in the backseat, 38 by the drawers, 32 in the door, 25 in the boot, 3 niggas rocking suits. That's them killers, boys. So get low, we about to shoot.
Ain't nobody seeing me, the whole hood agree with me. I'm wiping niggas out. They like what I'm about. Every time I'm killing it, the whole hood feeling it. I got the word of mouth. Right now I'm on the south, dealing with them killer niggas, shitey and gorilla niggas. Fuck it, though, we out. He talking what he bout. Nigga making threats, it's a bet. I send my bloodhound barking at his house. Them summer nights can even turn cold. In the streets of Philly where niggas don't even get to turn old. My heart pumping to it turn gold.
Because of Philadelphia hip hop and stuff, because I think the Smack DVDs was cool, but it seemed like the Philadelphia ones was a little bit better than the Smack DVDs. They probably gonna kill me in the comments for that.
No.
But I thought that was one of my things until I gotta keep it real. Until New York battled Philly, and then Murder Mook kind of murdered a couple of them. But yeah.
But you got to understand, that was the second wave of the Philly influence. The wave that I'm talking about was the beginning stages of the game.
Like Diamond D.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm talking 80, 83, 80, I'm talking about 83, 84, 85, you know what I'm saying? That was the first wave of the influence. And even before that, when you start talking about hip hop, you're talking about legendary graffiti artists, you know what I'm saying, that started in Philadelphia, you know what I mean? So the influence was always there with me growing up there, you know, from, you know, what I was talking to you about, what I explained in the beginning with regards to the business, but also from a battle perspective, man, it was like on site all the time. Like if you was in the street and you thought you could rhyme, on site all the time. Not a record, not going back and prepare, not setting up a battle for viewership and all that. It was on site all the time. Matter of fact, quick story, I saw Steady B in the streets. I saw Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jeff used to come to our school and DJ. You know what I'm saying? Called them both out. Of course, they didn't battle me. They had too much to lose. You know what I'm saying? They was already. They was, you know what I mean? There, they looked like battling me, but I was ready and prepared. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what Philadelphia was for me.
All right. So Biggie, rest in peace to the legend. He heard your demo, right? How did he get his hands on your demo? And then what happened after you heard your demo?
So Mark Pitts, who I went to Howard with, along with Derek D. Angeletti, along with, you know, Sean Combs, Puff, as you know, the cats know who he is. All of us went to school at Marlon Wayans, Taraji P. Henson, Anthony Anderson, the group shot. We were all at school together at the same time. Okay. So it was just a magical moment at Howard. But nevertheless, Mark, you know, left when Puff left, and then Mark became an understudy of Puff, started managing Big, and then wound up parlaying that into his own deal, which is By Storm Entertainment. So in his quest to sign artists, D-Dot, you know, basically reminded Mark, or at least informed him that, you know Trey, right? You know he rhyme, right? And he's nice, you know what I'm saying? So D-Dot told Mark, and then as I was, you know, attempting to get signed, you know, I had to send demos up there, you know what I'm saying, to see if it was something he would be interested in. And, you know, when I was sending my demos, of course, he's managing Big at the time. So Big used to sit in the car with Mark when Mark would play the demos. You know, D-Dot had already co-signed me because he brought me to the table. Yeah. But Mark still wasn't sure, you know what I'm saying? And so, of course, he would play the demos in the car with Big. And Big was the other co-signer, you know what I'm saying, if you will. So, you know, I can assume that if it didn't, you know, pass the Big test, then I probably wouldn't have got signed. But, you know, he was in the car with Mark, and, you know, I've heard this on numerous accounts. Like, yo, he's nice. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the thing with Biggie, though, right? Biggie, when he would, like, if you listen to his own records or listen to beats, he had a thing where he just like sitting in the car, right? Because he'll pull up on somebody with a new song and be like, yo, sit in the car, listen to this new joint. Do I sound like the nigga baby? I think.
Real bad.
Because, you know, Big always said about, you know, like, I was, and you know, that eye will go over here.
That was Big.
Big.
Big was on out. Like, you don't think, and the thing is, you don't think he's paying attention, because at the same time, Bo's so charismatic and personable, and you know what I mean, like easy, like user friendly, if you will. Like he wasn't the type, like if he rock with you, you know what I'm saying, he was really a genuine cat. He's one of the most genuine cats that I met in the game. And so you would have conversations with him and things like that. He'll crack a joke. Dude was funny as hell. And then now, you know, and this is, I'm giving you the highlights of how even our record went, Keep Your Hands High. Like, he would just zone out, like in the middle of the, you know what I mean?
No, hold on to that one. Don't say that yet. Hold on to that one. We get to that one, because I got something for you for that one, because that's one of my main questions. Don't even touch that one yet.
But Big was a personable dude, and you don't think he's paying attention where he's aware of everything that's going on around him. So he literally co-signed, you know, me getting signed, basically.
And he really didn't write. He really would just sit there rocking and just listening to it and writing it in his head, right?
Yep, he started off writing, just like all of us did, right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it became a thing where he told me personally that, because I asked him, I was like, yo, man, where's your pen and pad? He was like, nah, I can't do it that way, Trey. It confuses me. And when he told me that, I didn't really understand what he was saying until later on. And what he's saying is that the pen and the pad are like the middleman from the thought to the mic. So if you eliminate the pen and the pad, it forces you to remember. And his style was so melodic, and he learned how to use less to say more. So he could take one word that the average MC would use 3 or 4 words to get the point across. So naturally, if you're losing less words and you're basically going on syllable and syllable patterns and melodies, it becomes a process that's easier to digest if you eliminate the pen and the pad. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so you don't have to read it and look, you know, concentrate your inflections and all of that. You don't have to read it and convey it through the mic the way you want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
So the theme.
Yeah.
Okay. 37 weeks on Billboard. Amazing feeling, right? First things first though, Puff wanted it. People don't know that. What is
all right. So this is something that nobody knows, right? So Dot had made the beat. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dot had thought about this track, you know, before I got signed. I think I cut that record like in August of '96.
Okay.
We had been plotting on using Pieces of a Dream because it was you know, Mount Airy Groove, because that's where I'm from. I'm from Philly. It's a Philly group. Mount Airy is a section in Philly, and it had a section in that record that a lot of cats that used to DJ in the parks and all of that back in the day used to use the it's a hip hop it's a hip hop's DJ's delight, if you will. So I always plotted on using that part. And then then D-Dot had added the other elements, you know what I mean, the world famous Supreme Team, and even the hook, the Schoolhouse Rock, and everywhere that my crew goes. So we made this record in August. It started to take off a little bit on the East Coast, you know, in Philly and New York. Yeah. But before we put it out, Dot had played the record in Daddy's house, right? And the Locks was in there at the time. So Puff went bananas.
I can see him going crazy too, how he be doing, yo, that shit right here. You know how Puff always do this. I gotta have that shit right here.
That was it. That was it. Yo, Dula, so much so though, that he's playing the record in the studio, and the next thing, it's about midnight. And right now, I'm in New York. I'm staying across the street from the United Nations. And I get a phone call at about midnight. Mm-hmm. And I hear nothing but screaming and yelling, and the theme playing in the background. Uh-huh. And Dot is on the phone with me. He was like, yo, Pump is trying to jack this joint. Yo, come down here. He wants you to battle the Locks for the beat.
Oh, so he wanted to give it to LOX.
Apparently.
That's crazy. Apparently. I'm trying to even hear them on it. I'm like, oh, I can't even.
He wanted me to battle the Locks for the beat.
That's crazy.
And I was like, and this is that, and I'm half asleep. I said, man, I'm not coming down there to battle nobody for nothing. The record is done. Goodbye. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to hear Kiss on it and shit. And everywhere in my crew.
No, but they probably wasn't gonna use the hook and all that. But Kiss rhymed on it. Him and Nino Man. They made a video and all that. This came out maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years. If you go on YouTube, look up Jadakiss and Nino Man. It's party time.
If you ain't gonna kill him, let him keep it if he owe. Niggas know that the OG can G.O. Yeah, but my heart's in a good place, and the money's so old it's starting to look fake. And the hood turned into a garden with good snakes. I just need a getaway car with good brakes. I do it for the mercy of God and good grace, even when the times was hard like good bass.
He rhymes on the beat. You know what I'm saying? But that's how long he, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like everybody loved the record. Mace, Black Thought. Matter of fact, I tried to get them on a remix, but we used it. We did the remix with a twist. Busta wound up being on it, but because it wasn't the original beat, they both declined. They were like, "You using the original beat?" I'm like, "No." Like, "Nah, I ain't gonna do it."
It is an incredible beat too. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But can you imagine Black Thought? Like, it was Black Thought, it was Mace, and it was somebody else. They was like, "You using the original?" I can't do it.
Damn. And who decision was that? Was that the label decision?
Nah, I don't know whose decision it was, but shout out to Nasheem Myrick. Nasheem did the remix, you know what I mean? Tony, Who Shot Ya, you know what I'm saying? The remix is knocking too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I mean, I think it was just at that particular time, people were so caught up in that record, you know what I mean, that they just wanted to get on that record. But if you listen to both of them now, they both knock it.
So the success of that record, right? Like myself, I'm a kid. I'm watching this. So I see you on Teen Summit. I see you on the Keenan Ivory. People don't even realize Keenan Ivory Wayans show was actually fire. It was actually, it came at the right time because it was right around the time Arsenio had quit, right? So like I wish it would have stayed on longer because it was a great show. Then I'm watching Artless on HBO.
Oh, wow.
And it was my HBO free weekend as a kid. I was in the project, so we didn't.
Wow.
We had the big satellite. We only, like, people was like, when people was growing up, I only had BET. I never watched MTV until I was 18 because the cable was free, so we got every other channel. So when everybody was watching MTV, I had BET. Yeah. When everybody had TNT, I had TBS, so I couldn't even watch some of the playoff games on TNT because that's how poor we was, right? And so we had the HBO free weekend, and then I see you on Artless. Here go me, and I'm acting like I know you, right? I'm like, no, my nigga Tracy Lee on Artless, nigga, right?
That's crazy.
So like,
not a lot of people know that.
Nah, so like the success of the record, right? What did that feel like at the time, like with that success of the record?
I mean, it was a dream come true, you know what I'm saying? Because I had been pursuing this career when I was in high school. I used to send my little demo tapes in the mail and all that. You know, they were sounding ashy, but, you know, I wanted to get a deal back then. Now I understand why I didn't. But it was just a dream come true. It was almost like, this is the fruit of my labor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I to me, this was it. I made it. Yeah. Which we know is not true. You know what I'm saying? Once you get the deal, that's when it begins. Yeah. Because now you got to understand the business aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? Which is something that I never really leaned into, you know, prior to that. But, you know, the success of the record, it was just like, man, this is what it's about. This is what 10 years of hard work has finally resulted in. And yeah, man, I was living my best life, man.
Man, I remember I was in the studio. I'd be like a fly on the wall because I used to ghostwrite for. I still do. What am I talking about? I ghostwrite for people, right? So, I like to be like the fly on the wall. I be in the back just writing or something, and so people won't even recognize I'm in the studio. But I heard Styles P said this in a session that I was at, right? Styles P was like, "Nigga, you get a record deal and you get you a little hit, nigga, you go from looking like a gremlin to Adonis." And he was like, nigga, he said, you go to your hotel room, he said, it be bitches in your hotel room waiting for you. So
fact.
All that shit be, and even at the studio, it go from just a regular session, you walk into the session, the producer that you working with, he already got 4 or 5 chicks lined up in there. You probably see porn stars that you probably grew up watching, they in the damn studio session. So that had to be an adjustment for you too. Like, God damn, like, nigga, I can get any woman, do anything I want at this moment.
You have not told one lie yet. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I used to do. I used to, because I was never one to put his business out there, if you will. Like, I was very, very discreet with a lot of the shit that I did and still do. You know what I'm saying? So much to the point where, you know, when I would check in the hotels, I had an alias. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And I would have 2 rooms. There was my room, and then there was the nigga room. You know what I'm saying?
What's the nigga room?
That was for all of my niggas that was on the road with me.
Word. Or
found themselves in the city uninvited. I never told them go home, but come on. But you're not coming to my shit. I got the nigga room. That's for you. So whatever goes on in the nigga room, I don't want to know.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
Like I got no business. I don't want nothing. And so when chicks would come in the hotel lobby and all that, and you see all that shit, you tell them go to the nigga room. I don't want no parts of that. You see what I'm saying?
My nigga.
So we're just, that was it. That was it.
All right, we about to take a little break. You know, we got to present a little something from, hit the microphone, my bad. From Sober H2O. We'll be right back. All right. Sober H2O is more than water. It's a brand built to support and represent the sober and recovery community. Millions of people choose sobriety every day and are looking for products that reflect that lifestyle. Where Sober H2O stands out on the shelf, connects with a loyal and growing consumer base, and aligns perfectly with today's focus on wellness and mindful living. By carrying Sober H2O, you're not just selling water, you're offering hydration with a purpose. And a brand customers are proud to support. Live life sober. Make sure you visit soberh2o.com. Now back to the show.
Get out. Yo. It's Trade the Terrible. Me and my team's untouchable. You know the thing, we up in your whole entourage. Chestin', it's Justin. I reign in the rap game, getting rich in this. Flow so ridiculous. Rolls on your VA with ammo for your anal. Heavy artillery. This ain't a mystery. We pulling more strings than symphonies. Hit of the century. I'm the coming. Crush amateurs. Get out your cameras. Out for cheddar. Now's the era when I'm king like Coretta. Ever lasting, ever blasting. With epic material. Erase brothers in general. I execute. Why face the penalty? I kill it. Be even a Michelle be feeling me, yeah, or the real MC. I had to stop right there. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You can leave off right there. That was all.
All right, welcome back. Now, the great debate.
Mm-hmm.
You.
What's that?
And Biggie.
What's the great debate?
The great debate. You and Biggie keep your hands high, right? Before we even get to the great debate. Everybody's seen the famous pictures of the studio session is you, Big, Dot, and Mark Pitch, right? It's one of the most, I've even seen it on t-shirts. You know how they do the hip hop t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
I've even seen it on t-shirts. It was a dude I remember college had the shirt on. And I'm like, do you even know what you're wearing? You know, niggas just buy shit, right? So, right? Well, I saw Biggie on it. Shut your ass up. So, nigga, I said, who the other three? I don't know. Shut your dumb ass up, right? So the studio session for that, right? Because let me explain what Keep Your Hands High for what people don't know. I'm gonna give my little synopsis on it, right? Keep Your Hands High is a hip hop iconic record. How was that? Somebody watching? Well, T.I., bring them out. Well, they got that from Jay-Z. Jay-Z said that in What More Can I Say on the Black Album. Well, on the Black Album, that beat is sampled from Keep Your Hands High, and that line, the rings and things you sing about, bring them out, that's a Biggie line. Now, we know Jay always paid homage to Big. I hate when people say, he's still Jay, he be still in Big. Nah, they was friends. He pays homage. But that quote, the rings and things you sing about, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Fire. That comes from this man's song, Keep Your Hands High, with Biggie. So the sample of the beat, the verses, everything comes from that song. Then Rap Phenomenon on Born Again, those vocals that Biggie has with Redman and Method Man is from Keep Your Hands High. So that's 3 times that I done said this man bank account said cha-ching, right? So that song right there by itself is iconic just for that. What is that studio session like? Is it competitive or are you like, shit, I'm in the booth with this nigga?
Nah, well, me and Big had already built a rapport. You know what I'm saying? We'd already been on the phone. I gave him the concept for the song. You know what I'm saying? Told him we was robbing the industry. And for niggas that got it, run it. And for niggas that's fronting, run it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I walk in the studio, first of all, here's a little tidbit. When I walk in the studio, this is the first time I meet Jay-Z.
Word.
Because he's in the studio with Big. And they're across the hall. Jay's across the hall working on the streets is watching at the time. So Big introduced me to Jay during our session. So it's just ironic that, what is that, 5, 6, 7 years later, he used the same sample, takes the quote, all that other stuff.
Hold on, that even makes sense too when they showed him in the documentary when he was listening to the beats and then that beat came up after that Gladiator sample. His face, I saw how his face lit up. He was like, oh shit, they sample Keep Your Hands High. So that makes a lot of sense.
And matter of fact, there's a picture in that same booth. I mean, in our studio session, there's another picture with Jay, Jay, Big, and what's my man's name? Producer. It'll come to me as I'm talking. But anyway, in that same in our session, in our booth. So I'll send you the photo of that. But anyway, when I walk in there, you know, I meet Jay, blah, blah, blah. It's already, you know, trees in the air and all that, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's about an 8.5 hour session. And really, we already had the concept down, but there was a lot of dialogue between me and Big about the business, you know what I'm saying, about the game, what his plans were, you know, after his, you know, he fulfilled his agreement, you know what I'm saying, where he was trying to take, you know, his career and expand his brand. You know, it was a lot of that. You know, a lot of, you know, Trey, you got to look out for this, that, and the third, and the pitfalls, and the, you know, and the snakes in the grass, and all of that. It was a lot of those types of conversations while the trees are being, the medicinals are being blown in the air, and the Hennessy is sitting on the table, you know what I'm saying? But all the while, the beat is playing in the back, loud, you know what I'm saying? Very loud, you know, so that, you know, in his process, you know, as we're talking and as we laughing and as we, you know, being serious about the game, you know, he'll black out and just start doing this in the chair. And mind you, he couldn't really walk because this was right after the accident.
The car accident,
yeah. So he had the cane and all that. So he had to sit down, but he's doing this. And he recorded his session sitting down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm back in the conversation and then about 8 hours later, he's like, I'm ready. I'm sitting there with the pen and the pad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So about 8 hours later, after, you know, in intermissions and then this, that, and the third, I'm thinking this is the first time I witnessed his process. So I'm thinking he bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, he don't got a pen pad, nothing. He's just going to freestyle on my shit. But he was like, no, I'm ready to go. I said, ready to do what? He's like, I'm ready to get in the booth. I said, with the pen and the pad. He said, I can't, Trey, it confuses me. I said, oh shit, okay.
Okay.
So then they rolled I forgot how because I was so high probably at the time. I forgot how he got from inside of where the board was into the mic booth. I don't know if he rolled him in there or if he got up with the cane or whatever.
Whoever rolled him in there as a strong motherfucker. That's a strong motherfucker can push big, right?
But he was seated in the joint, and you got what you heard. And I said, oh shit. So okay, but at the same time, he knew what basically he was prepared for what he was not necessarily going against, but he was prepared for the type of MC that I am. Yeah. Because he told Dot, yo, your man is nice, but tell him be prepared to finish in second. So it was already, the gauntlet was already dropped. Even though we had a concept for the record, even though we were trying to just make a cohesive classic record, we as MCs are still competitive when we get in that booth. So it's like, you're not gonna outdo me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's the energy he came with, and that's the energy I came with.
Because I remember seeing Kiss, I didn't mean to cut you off, my bad, bro. Wait, but yeah, no, I remember Kiss has said recently on Joe and Jada.
Song he got with Tracy Lee.
Oh yeah.
The rings and things you think about, bring them out. It's hard to yell with the barrel in your mouth. That's when he said that. I got a new mouth to feed. Do stuff with keys. Y'all pick C's out your weed. I watch cowards bleed. Pick C's out your weed. Motherfucker, please. It's my block and my rock. Fuck that hip hop, the 1-2s, and you don't stop. Me and my man Lance to Kim and C's advance. Or 10 bricks, 4 pounds of weed plants from Branson. Now we lamping 12-room mansion. Get naked off, get money, play his anthem. Don't forget dancing. My other hits, other shit. Niggas kick me counterfeit. Robbing come naturally, in and out like fucking rapidly. Pass the gap to me.
Top 5! Dead or alive!
B out there, baby. B.I.G. forever.
That Biggie joint, I remember Math Hoffa said it too, that it was like their favorite Biggie verses that he ever spit.
We need to do this as the next single. These are the things that we should do in terms of just back then.
We need to put featuring the notorious B.I.G. on the album.
Puff wouldn't give it to us. We begged for it.
But you had the verse.
We begged for it. Puff wouldn't give it to us.
True businessman.
Puff wouldn't give. I don't know why. Puff wouldn't give it to us. We begged for sticker rights. I'm talking about back and forth. We begged for sticker rights. Puff wouldn't give it to us. And I wasn't even looking at it like, why? It's just like, yo, we young, we new, we got big on the album.
Arguably one of Biggie's best verses.
Nah, it's crazy.
Ever.
So that night,
Trey held it.
So that night, my man
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Bro,
I think Trey held it.
No, Trey held it.
Please don't argue me. Don't argue this.
Wait, what are you saying?
Do not argue this with me, son.
It's one of Big's best verses.
Son.
I said Tracy Lee held it down on the record with Big. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not.
I'm with Math on this one.
Do you know this record, sir? Keep your hands high. You do, right?
Nah.
You do.
Biggie caught a body on that, bro.
Son,
Nobody's saying Biggie didn't do his thing.
Of course he did.
But Tracy held his own on
that. Me and my nigga
record.
Lance to Kim and C's advance. Bought 10 bricks, 4 pounds of weed plants from Branson. Now we lamping 12-room mansions. Bitches get naked off, get money. Play his anthem. Don't forget one more chance. My other hits, other shit. Niggas spit be counterfeit. Rappers come naturally, in and out like fucking rapidly. Pass the gat to me, make his chest rest where his back should be. Fucking black. Yo, come on. Come on, son!
My boy held his own. My boy held his own on that.
Can we please?
My boy held his own on that. My boy, on the record, my boy held his own on that. He's a new MC. He's rhyming with Big. Yo.
And for me, I'm thinking, I'm like, when you write your best shit, it's because you have a respect for the other person that you're going into the booth with. Because if you're going into the booth with MC bum ass nigga, you ain't finna write your best shit. You gonna get that brown paper bag money and be done with it. So he definitely had a respect for you. So how do you feel when certain people be saying, oh, Biggie bodied that nigga on the track? Biggie did not body you on that motherfucking track. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I saw Guru and Mecca was like, nah, he held his own. This y'all niggas is tripping. And he was younger than Big, right?
No, I'm 2 years older than Big, but Big had 5 years in the game. 5 years in the game.
Yeah, you held your own on that damn record. So, like, how does that make you feel when niggas like, yo, you know, of course, because it's Big, yo, he bodied. No, he didn't body at all on that track.
First thing I do is look at the source. I'm like, who's saying it? That's the first thing that I do,
Facts.
whether or not I take it serious or not.
Yeah.
And then after that, I say to myself, you know that ain't true because you was in the booth with the man. Mm-hmm. You know that the man been listening to you for almost a year, if not a year, before we even get into the booth, before I even got signed. You know what I'm saying? So I knew the respect. I know the phone conversations we had, and I know when or the fact that he dropped the gauntlet and said, and listen, as an MC, bro, I'm not, you know, we should all have this vibrato. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? Bravado?
Yeah, bravado.
Yeah. I always say vibrato is bravado. Here we go. We always have
just a Philly
bravado.
nigga, it's all right.
I know. We always have, we should, at least we should. And you know, as an MC, we should have a bravado.
Absolutely.
That you are the best in the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I pay it no mind because it's also, you know, it's up to the listener. It's you know, art is to be critiqued by the listener. And so if you as the listener, whatever your motive is, say that Biggie body me, that's your opinion. But for everyone that says that, for every 10 that says that, I can show you 20 that says something different. You know what I'm saying? So I really pay it no mind.
Either way, it's a classic record. If you haven't heard Tracy Lee featuring Notorious B.I.G., Keep Your Hands High. If you didn't become interested after hearing this conversation, something wrong with you. Go listen to that song because, matter of fact, you can actually go to even.biz, purchase the Many Faces album right now on Even. That song is on there. Matter of fact, my man whole catalog is on even.biz. He's gone direct to consumer, so his whole catalog is on there now. We'll get to that in a moment. The transition now. Damn, you done traveled. Records with Big. It's time for the second album. Label's tripping. Label drop you. Mm-hmm. Transition. What made you transition to say, because I remember earlier you said, you know, I wasn't really into the business of it, right? What made you want to be a lawyer? But on top of that, what made you want to be an entertainment lawyer?
Man, God and experience. So, you know, experience is the best teacher, as a lot of people say. Mm-hmm. You know, me going through the trials and tribulations of being a signed artist, I was forced to learn the business the hard way. You know what I'm saying? From you know, a lawyer that I hired in the beginning that wasn't really an entertainment attorney. You know what I mean? That was the flashback that I had once I got put in this position of being dropped in the unsigned artist. Again, to you know, going back and remembering certain things that was in my contract, like, you know, certain words that I learned later on, like perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? And for people that don't know what the word perpetuity means, that means forever. So you have to, you know, after you get dropped from your deal, you know, which is a blessing in disguise, you say to yourself, why would I sign something that says in perpetuity? Why would I sign a contract that binds me, you know what I'm saying, forever? Why? You know what I mean? It makes no sense. So between that, a lot of prayer, a lot of, and I like to share this story all the time when it comes to my, you know, my epiphany, if you will. You know, I was down to my last $7, you know, very spiritual cat, went to church, right? And just as a symbolic gesture, I just put the last $7 that I had into the offering. I don't know where it went. I don't know, you know, whatever. It was my, you know what I'm saying, offering to God, telling me, look, I don't know what to do now. You know what I'm saying? So I need some guidance here. You know what I mean? So, you know, after that, about a week later, I get a call from Wayne Barrow, who is the president of Boston, which is Mark Pitt's cousin. Okay. And he said, yo, Trey, Universal has a publishing check for you, but they don't know where to send it. You know what I'm saying? So could you give me your address or where you are now? Da 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 da. So I give them the address, and then about a week after that conversation, I get a check in the mail for $7,000. Okay. So it goes from 7 to 0 to 7,000 in about 2 weeks. Two and a half.
That makes a lot of sense with 7.
Week and a half after that, or a week after that, I get another check in the mail for $57,000. So now we go from 7 to 0 to 7 to 57, which is a total of 64,000. You know what I'm saying? Now we're putting ourselves in a position. So when, people ask me about, the spiritual connection and all that, I don't even have it, why, I don't even have these discussions because I know the things that have happened in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I take that and I reevaluate some things, and then I go back to these instances that I just previously named about the lawyer and about the, the business of self, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it just really dawned on me, you know what I'm saying, go to law school. Why? Because you can put yourself in a position to help those people that, are in a position that you once were in, but you can give them the kind of guidance that you never got. You know what I'm saying? Because you were, you know what I'm saying, or you are, you know what I'm saying, a known sign artist that has some mild success that can give people the insight, you know what I'm saying? But now from a position of, or with the stamp of, being an ESQ, you know what I'm saying? But not only that, you know what I'm saying, for myself to guide myself through this business moving forward, you know what I'm saying? So in the event that I get myself in a certain situation again, with a label or what have you, that I'm well equipped and better prepared, from an experience perspective and from an educational perspective. And again, the brand has expanded now because now you're talking to an MC who is also a licensed attorney. So it just made sense from all fronts. You know
how many times did you have to take the bar?
Once.
You passed it the first time in 07, right?
Well, in Louisiana, there's a conditional pass, meaning if you ask my law professor, they'll say you were conditioned to fail. But I like to think of it as the glass half full, meaning there were about 7 sections in the test. And let's just say I passed clearly 5 of them. 2 of them I didn't fail, but it was a condition, meaning that if I go back and take certain parts of this particular section, that I can go ahead. And so I did that. And then I graduated in 2006, actually passed the bar in 2007. I graduated May 2006, passed the bar in January 2007, and been a licensed attorney entertainment attorney for the last 19 years.
Nice. Well, two more questions. Well, one statement, one more question.
Yeah.
My statement is, one of the reasons I wanted you on this show is that I'm a big dreamer, but I work hard as well too. So one of the reasons I wanted to interview you, because I wanted to actually say this to you in person, like the podcast that I'm building, I want to be one of the biggest podcasts in the nation within the next couple of years.
Love it.
When I need a lawyer, you're the one I want to hire. Like, period.
Indeed.
Like, I don't have no plans of hiring no other entertainment lawyer but you. And one of the reasons I wanted to interview you, because I wanted to say that to you myself. Like, we've talked on the phone a bunch of times.
Absolutely.
I never mentioned it because I wanted you to know on camera, like, what you did was impressive. It was inspiring. And just from our conversations, I'm like, yeah, when stuff start happening for me, I've been around this industry. You can't trust a lot of these motherfuckers. Like you said, some of them don't even be lawyers.
Nope. So
the fact that you was like, okay, I see, you had the ideology, like, okay, I didn't see what these niggas is about. Okay, let me change it. So for, people like Guru and all of them to trust you, whenever God got it planned for me to make everything happen that I won't happen, the first person I'm gonna call will be you. I just wanted you to know that on camera.
I'm on deck, baby. I'm on deck, man. I appreciate that for sure. Absolutely.
Now, some fun shit. You just dropped the album, Law and Order.
Yes.
Available.
Law and Disorder.
Law and Disorder. Sorry about that. Law and Disorder.
That's all good. So that's very important.
Law
like
and Disorder. You're right. That DIS is Let me start over. So you just dropped the album, Law and Disorder. It's available right now, even.biz. I got the right here, and the link could be in the bio too. You can check that out. You can click on there and go purchase that right now. D-Dot, he's producing the whole joint, right?
Everything.
So,
Everything.
And people don't even realize how legendary that is. Shout out to D-Dot, right? Before I get to the last question, I want you to premiere your new video right now. So go ahead and introduce it.
Man, listen, this is the world premiere on all podcasts right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a new record coming from the Law and Disorder album. Our new video from the single, the new release single video from the Law and Disorder album. Me and myself and Derek D. Angeletti. This one is called Let's Get It On. This is the calm before the storm. Let's get it on.
My man.
Oh, Derek in here?
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm. Don't none rival, just bounce on bongo. A-line, I punch like a jab hook combo. Way out your range, mi hermano. You need to find Jesus, homie. O.A. Rondo. This a tough flow to follow. Cold as a bowl of gazpacho. Said I ain't hot, so, but how so? Player be mindful. That back and forth with Biggs been a 30-year combo.
Think about Biggie at the time. So we had to literally sit in the car and play him, Trey.
That's what he did, that head nod.
This is yo, Derek. That nigga nice.
Old head Philly, the black two Paganos. Top one lottos, yup, used to rock those. Do this with my eyes closed, it's not close. It's my style, also the bravado. Check the bop, yo, call me the vato. Master of the art form, aficionado. Party time, co-starring El Gato. You know we get down, it's forever the motto. Let's get it on, let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm. Look up in the sky like baby. 57, almost 60, about to be a minute. A seminar, sign up now, then sit right down, then be like, wow, Papa's putting on the clinic. In the big chair, love it when the chicks cheer.
You in the big, yeah, you winning with it.
So baby doll, check the Chappelle, I'll make you a star. Cause your boy is slick as oil like P. Diddy did it. Had to, I'm just busting his balls, pause. But I still bet on my friend before yours. Acting like bitches, not the ones on all fours. Slapping your jaws, put a zipper in it. Shut up. The sensei of the tracks must've forgot I'm nice with the raps. Two kings in the cypher, ask DJ Cassidy about me. I invite ya, pass the mic, won't get it back tonight, bruh. Let's get it on, let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm. Let's get it on, let's get it on. Hey! We not the ones that run, you got it wrong. We not them guys that try and you been warned. This is the calm before the storm.
All right, you just checked it out. Now, what's funny about that is, because you said something to me when we was talking on the phone, right? So I hope that everybody enjoyed the video, right? Because I've listened to the album, and listening to the album made me think of this last question, right? Is that ageism. People try to put ageism in hip hop, right? And I think, my personal opinion, ageism doesn't exist anymore. One, because the industry has changed. But I would actually say that's two. Number one, to me, is the skill level. Somebody that was born in 1950 that's trying to rap in 2005, they probably still sound like Melly Mel when he dissed Eminem, right? Yep. I shoot your mama, she died. I saw a cat run down the street of the other day and he like, you know,
man,
like get the
shout
fuck
out to Mel, man. He's one of the pillars for me. You can't diss Mel.
that nigga should have stayed a
But
pillar.
I hear you though. I hear you.
No apologies. And a roach fell out of your book bag. I was like, yo, shoot this nigga now, right? Buff ass. So this nigga, that nigga buff as fuck. Stick to the buff shit, nigga. Go take some creatine. But but the skill level now, like, you know, the fact that Jay-Z, Nas in their 50s, you in your 50s, even the top artists, like, people don't realize Kendrick Lamar is almost 40. Drake is turning 40 this year. A lot of the top records, albums, and everything are from older artists. Is that a good thing? Yes. Because rock and roll, you see Aerosmith and all of them still touring at this age anyway. And plus, people don't need labels like they used to, right? So, you being a lawyer, all of that, what made you say, fuck it, I gotta make this album?
I mean, honestly, man, I never really stopped. I never stopped. Like, I have albums that I made after Many Faces. There was Live from the 215, which never left the shelf without, you know, but, you know, in all fairness, I was still a signed artist per se. But then my next album was after I got out of law school, and this was 2013, called ESQ. Yeah. And it basically explained, you know, all of the things that we're talking about right now, pre and post me being a signed artist. But then after that, there was Expect the Unexpected in 2019. And then there was Glory in 2020.
That was 2018.
2018, sorry, 2018. Then there was Glory. Yeah, you on it. Then there was Glory in 2020. Then there was Different in 2022, 2023. So, you know, this album right here is really just a continuation of me perfecting my craft. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, going back to, you know, the whole ageism and not really sounding of a certain era or age, is constant evolution causing expansion. You know what I'm saying? Like, as Rakim once eloquently put it, you know what I'm saying? I ride around while I cool in my mansion. You know what I'm saying? But it's constantly perfecting your craft. It's constantly keeping an ear to what's going on, and either not necessarily sounding like what's going on, but at least, you know, being in touch. You know what I'm saying? Being in touch to the point where, you know, there may be a word or a phrase that cats use, but you be creative in how you use it. You know what I'm saying? But you're still sticking with the gift that God gave you, gives you with regards to the skill and talent sets, the skill and the talent, and being able to exercise them in a way that is still appealing to the consumer. You know what I'm saying? To you know, to allow them to want to, you know, at least take an interest in what you're saying and what you're doing and how it sounds and things like that. So it's really just like with cats that, you know, are even retired from the NBA, right? You may not be able to do certain things that you could do as a 20-year-old man, but it's an unfair comparison because one is mental, one is physical, but in the same sense, you can keep certain skills sharp. If you're a jump shooter, you may have retired from the game, but if you get that retired NBA player out on the court, if he's been still, you know, sharpening his skills, he can still hit the three. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, essentially what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I constantly write, I constantly keep my ear to the street. I think I have a gift for beats. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's about pocket presence. It's about, you know, the cadences and keeping up with the similes and metaphors and the doubles and triples and all that stuff, man. You know what I mean?
So tell everybody where they can find your whole catalog. So tell them where they can find your catalog online. Tell them the whole thing. Tell them where they can find Tracy Lee.
Yeah, I hope I wasn't too long-winded, but, you know, I had to get all of that out. But anyway, you can go to TracyLeeMusic.com, which is my website, but you can also go to even.biz, type in Tracy Lee, and the whole catalog will be there for you to either, you know, for you to listen, purchase, name your own price. You know what I'm saying? Let me know where you are so we can come to your city, you know what I'm saying, and burn it down, you know what I mean? Because that's a very important aspect of even, so that we can understand who the demographic is and where you're located, and how we can best serve and cater to you and your needs. You know what I'm saying? If you want to reach me on IG, you can go to Tracy Lee ESQ. If you want to go to TikTok, it's the same thing, Tracy Lee ESQ, TracyLeeESQ. If you want to go to Facebook, it's just simply Tracy Lee. And yeah, that's where we are in a nutshell with regards to, you know, the social media presence and the websites and where you can purchase the music, and just, you know, look out for Law and Disorder. Me and D. the legendary Derek D. Angeletti. Not only is he on all the production, but he's spitting bars too, and he sounds better than ever. So make sure y'all cop Law and Disorder, Law and Disorder, Law and Disorder. I can't, you know, stress that enough, man. Go cop that.
And last thing before I end the show, man, I just want you to know you one of my hip hop heroes, right? Man. I told you this on the phone, but I want to, like, whoever's not, there's people familiar with my music. You know what I'm saying? But some of the ad libs that I used came from what y'all was doing.
Wow.
I say that in almost
Shout
all
out
of
to
my
Pie.
songs.
Yes.
Yep. I know that was your man's and stuff. The one,
Yes.
right? When I heard that as a kid, I was like, damn, I got to come up with my own way of doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I even used to squint my eye like you.
Wow, yeah.
When I would battle
and
cats.
I didn't even know what I was doing until I look at the footage. I'll be like, damn, why my shit always like that? But
like you and Method Man used to do that. So like, you know, when I used to battle cats, I used to like kind of squint my eye and all that. Like, people don't understand how important Rap City and all of that stuff was for us, because, you know, it came on not only after school, but we could stay up late and rewatch the episodes and, you know, whatever we missed, you know. So from fashion and everything that y'all niggas was doing, I was doing that shit. So from the jerseys, the bandanas, everything that y'all did, even the eye squint, everything, that shit meant everything to me as a kid, because that's what I grew up on. So to be able to interview you right now is a blessing. To be able to just call you and talk as a brother is a blessing.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you for even picking up every time I call, because, you know, we've had plenty of conversations, and that's dope to me. Like, every time I hang, I'm like, damn, I still can't believe I just got off the phone with Tracy Lee. So, yo, you ain't just my nigga, my brother. I appreciate you for coming on the show, dog. I know you gotta get to a soccer game or something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, I'm a full-time dad, man, and that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? To still be able to do what I do, you know what I'm saying, at the level that I'm doing it at, and still, you know, add other aspects to my life. You know, I'm a loving father, you know, a loving husband, and I cherish that more than anything in the world, man. But thank you for having me, man. You know, the conversations are always continuous, so don't hesitate to pick up the phone, bro. And this is the pleasure. The pleasure was all mine, man, for real.
Oh, man. So yeah, you know what this is, man. This is the shit you scared to say. Your boy Dula-Mite. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, run them heights up. See y'all next week.
Peace.